Well, just recently, the other day, when y'all know when Lil Zay Summer when he dropped that, when he dropped his new song, when he referenced THF Bayzoo in the beginning, anyone that's connected with the streets know that he was referencing the incident with THF Bayzoo. So I spoke on it, gave my opinion on it. Today, my boy Trap dropped a video, and if don't nobody know, I'm sure Trap know, and he spoke on it. And we're gonna go ahead and listen, see what Trap got to say about THF Bayzoo killers. They supposed to have been exposed today. We're gonna see if it's Lil Zay or something like I thought it was.
Trapmore gang, we have finally got a huge update on the THF Bayzoo murder, and it is looking like, at least on Reddit, okay, they're making some progress with identifying which gang is responsible for this murder. And it might surprise you, okay, that it's not necessarily who you maybe would have thought at
It's gonna surprise everybody if it ain't Lil Zay or something.
the outset of this news coming out. Obviously, THF Bayzoo was notoriously part of this crew, THF, the Trigger Happy Family, or THF 46. There's THF 44, 46, 49. You might have heard about these guys in some songs. But he was very close to King Von, which is obviously O Block. You know, he was basically the most famous member of the O Block gang, which is a faction of the Black Disciples. Then you have Lil Durk, who was another close friend of Bayzoo. He was the leader of OTF, allegedly, which is another set of Black Disciples. You know, he was affiliated with a whole bunch of gangs, Lamron, you know, Threats to Everybody, Tay-Town, all of these little crews that he was involved in. And Bayzoo was kind of connected to all of it. A lot of people thought that, you know, the most likely people who could have killed Bayzoo would have been the guys that had problems with those gangs. You know, O Block and OTF, all of these guys were beefing with FBG, you know, a group of gangster disciples from 63rd and St. Lawrence. And it just seemed like there were so many people that could have been responsible for this. But now we are finally hearing for the first time the crew that might actually be responsible for this murder. And it's not really a crew that is necessarily super famous in the mainstream culture when it comes to drill music. But what it is, it's a crew that's kind of been picking up a lot of noise recently, and it's been alleged that one of the most notorious members of this crew is an individual that may have as many as 12 bodies to his name. So I'm going to break it all down. I've got all of the links, all of the posts, and basically just a bunch of his
I'm gonna have to ask Trap how he be coming up with the body count. That's what I'm gonna have to ask Trap. How do he come up with the body count?
historical stuff to give you a bunch of background about these crews, and it is really just mind blowing what I'm seeing. Honestly, like I, when I covered the King Von situation, they're saying Von had 7 bodies. That was already crazy. Then you start hearing about Lil Jeff. They were saying he could have had as many as 11 bodies. Now we're hearing about this new guy. He goes by the name of Kill Bill. They're saying he might have upwards of 12 bodies. And this gang, apparently, there's a picture of 2 guys from this gang, and they're saying that between the 2 of them, they've got 20 bodies between them. So let's get into it, man. They're saying that Bayzoo was allegedly killed by this crew called BTBG, and their members essentially killed Bayzoo in retaliation for the murder of Lil Deuce, who came from the crew's DMG FBC. Now, I've got more information about, you know, these gangs that I'm going to get to in a minute, but I just want to kind of look at some of the response that
If what Trap just said is true, then Lil Zay don't gotta be some of the most goofiest niggas in the world. Soon as Zoo get hit, you go straight to the studio, make a song. Little chick gave you the drop and you did 200. Trying to get claiming somebody else's work. He knew niggas was crazy.
under this post to give you a little bit of background on what everybody's talking about. People saying it's open for discussion. Everything is alleged, but after he passed away, someone went from claiming 9 bodies to 10 bodies. People are saying I wouldn't be surprised if it was the younger guys that Zoo didn't even know about. People saying it was always somebody that's trying to get their name ringing. It's not surprising at all. Obviously, Bayzoo was a very famous person in Chicago drill. You know, he was pretty notorious. He was very famous. You know, there was rumors that he'd been involved in his, you know, three sort of high profile murders in the city. People are saying it's crazy to see Bayzoo under a post like this. People are saying I got footprints in the streets out west and over east. We don't do the internet. We really clap stuff over beef. So they talking about these lyrics, and you know there's a lot of hints that are in there. Now, this is somebody basically talking about this Kill Bill guy, and I'm going to get into this because I've got a whole bunch of things that basically relate to Kill Bill. Okay, so this is a post that's going around, right? This is basically Lil Deuce. I believe this is Lil Deuce and Kill Bill. And this was a post that was going viral. It says, "Real Splash Brother, 20 plus hats between the two of us on my son. When Forever Tudor." So they're saying, I'm just beginning to learn about this gang now, all right? But they're saying that there's over 20 bodies in this picture, and I've seen this picture going around recently, okay? But what this person says, he says, "Your post doesn't even make sense. Kill Bill claims to be up a lot. He said that him and Deuce had 20 plus bodies together, but this is way before Bayzoo died. Every close affiliate of Deuce pretty much said that he was 8 times, which means 8 bodies. So Kill Bill claims to be 12 to 14 bodies. Who knows? He was not specific and people can exaggerate. This is Kill Bill claiming to have 9 bodies from 5 months ago. And basically, this was a song where he basically dropped this song 7 to 8 months ago since Lil Scoon was locked up. And he basically claimed to have 8 bodies in the song Footprints that was released 2 years ago. So these are, I don't want to play this. I don't want to get, I'm not thinking that these guys, I feel like they're more focused on catching bodies than copyright claims. But just to be safe, let me just listen to this before I play. All right, I'll play you just this little snippet. Basically, he says that he has 9 bodies and he wants one more. I'll play you this tiny little snippet. Hopefully, we won't get any trouble.
Got like 9, I want one more. Folks got 9, he wants some more. Pose.
So he's saying he got 9 bodies and he wants some more. This was just this was what, 5 months ago. They're saying when this post went up, it said it was 4 months ago, and this post was made a month from today. So I guess this was 5 months ago. They're saying now back to the present. If he killed Bayzoo, like some of you are saying, the song he released 2 weeks ago, which is an old song, is not him claiming he killed Zoo. It's him claiming he killed someone else. Besides that, you can't use anything to prove something on this situation. Maybe you can use THF saying Zay Osama's side didn't touch Zoo, but people would come and say they don't want to give credit. Well, I didn't see any THF members saying BVC ain't do it. BVC is the first set who ever claimed the murder way before it was on Spot News. Now, this person says, "You will never know the exact body count of someone. I remember Death Row members saying that BD had 12 plus bodies when he died, and some members alluded that he had 8 bodies, so I guess some members count civilians or assists as bodies." Now, if you want to know about that, I did actually do a long documentary on this very channel about Buff City BD, who people said that he had a whole bunch of bodies, but I'm pretty sure the final body count I heard might have been 9. I don't know if he ever got to double digits, but people are now arguing about this. They're saying Kill Bill has never claimed 12 to 14 bodies, so I don't know what you're talking about. You're making yourself look dumb. KB claimed 10 bodies at 1 minute into this song. It's an old song. Oh, sorry, Kill Bill. He claimed 10 bodies at this song. He said it's an old song. Simply provide proof because this is part 2 of Devil Music. He posted the song 5 days after Bayzoo passed away, claiming 10 bodies in it on top of that. I said, allegedly, please explain to me how my post doesn't make sense by using actual logic. Everything you typed out made no sense. Why would BVC kill Lil Deuce when Lil Sam was literally hiding scared because his chain was never found about the Vante stuff after he passed away? I want you to respond. This is a good discussion. People saying, are you blind? How can he be 10x after Zoo died if he claimed him and Deuce were up 20 hats? This is devolving into a little bit of a ridiculous conversation at this point. So this is Kill Bill's song Devil Music 2. Now, what's crazy, this only has 5,783 views. I'm not going to lie. This feels like the Lil Jeff situation all over again. You know, when people first started discovering Lil Jeff and he was getting all those 10 teardrop tattoos or whatever it was, he really wasn't having motion like that. And it took a little bit of time. Obviously, he ended up passing away. But now, Lil Jeff is this legendary Chicago figure, and he's just notorious for having all of these bodies. I think this could be the Kill Bill situation, man. I feel like this is like a new Von. This is like a new Lil Jeff that we're now kind of seeing develop in front of our very eyes. Now, I do have a whole bunch of backstory about this. A lot of this relates to one of Kill Bill's friends called Lil Deuce, who ended up getting killed. Now, people were basically saying that this was THF THF Zoo responding to Lil Zay a week after Lil Deuce was killed. And apparently he ended this caption when he posted this flick with him posing with all of this money with 6,300K. And that's a diss to both Lil Zay and Lil Deuce's hood. So this was going viral, and I showed you this in a previous video about how, people saying Bayzoo was going broke, and he was basically saying he isn't, he was showing off all this money. But I didn't realize that this actually was also a way of him dissing Lil Deuce, who got killed.
Yeah, man, I usually don't do this shit. You already know how I'm coming, though, man. Niggas say I'm out here in the trenches, tank top on. You don't have to put the tank on for their ass, Guess that tank top wearing off, bitch. Broke ass niggas, I don't even pop it like this. I ain't pop it enough, you hear me? I ain't ducking shit but the feds and death, you hear me? You know what the fuck going on, man.
So there was more trolling, and basically this was like a longer clip. you know, Lil Zay was obviously dissing him, and then he was clapping back at Lil Zay, but it turns out that behind the scenes there was more going on. And there was basically more trolling from Bayzoo that popped up in this video. I believe it's around here, right? We see like that same post where Bayzoo's kind of flexing all of this money, and then we see this next part of it where he's kind of with his homie in the car. And again, just big flexing, but low-key disrespecting their enemy.
Let him hit that. Hold on. Let him hit that. That boy, hey, y'all better stop playing. He rigged down to the floor, man. From the head to the toe. Troublemaker. Double trouble forever, man.
2 days on a Ricky Smiley, man.
And we got Big Bro on the phone,
Rick
man.
up top, man.
Big Bro. Bankroll Records, ATM.
What's going on?
Talking about, look, this is how we coming. THF there.
So he posted up all this money, but he also made another post where he was putting his thumb down and he had these footprint emojis. Now, this is obviously a reference to, you know, step in, standing on business, you know, however you want to call it. But he was low-key sending subliminals for this guy, Lil Deuce, that got killed. And apparently Lil Deuce was very, very close friends with Kill Bill. I've got some more information about Lil Deuce that I'll show you in a minute. But first, I want to show you some more evidence that people are saying already pointed to the fact that perhaps it was this this group, BTBG, that had something to do with Bayzoo's murder. Because people were basically saying BTBG's hood isn't really far from where Bayzoo got killed at. And this is 21 days ago. So this theory isn't new. This has been spreading around for quite some time. And they're basically saying, yo, do you think they got the drop? Do you think they're responsible? People saying that Bayzoo was loafing out west when they just killed DMG Scoom is so dumb, right? They're saying police never got to do their job. I feel like the police are doing their job. It just so happens. People are saying that's definitely...
Shit, they ain't got to do their job, Trap. Every time these niggas catch a body, they go straight to the internet. Chicago niggas different.
their work for sure. Kill Bill deactivated his page. They're saying that other dude looks like Kill Bill by his movements. We've seen all of this this footage going around of the murder from different angles. People are saying BTBG be putting the belt to THF. If it's their work, it's 2-0 already. People are saying TP was killed by BVC. You are wrong. They're saying the other shooter was BTBG. There was a lot of talk about, different people that had already been going down. They're saying if BTBG did that, then they made 2 murders on THF go viral. A lot of people are saying that basically that guy TP who was killed in front of his daughter, they were saying that was get back over Zay Osama's watches, but now they're saying, yo, it's really something to do with this. But people are saying it's not 2-0. And again, I don't condone this scorekeeping. Like this isn't sport. These are real people's lives. Like I take this very seriously. But this is the level of discourse that we're seeing on Chiracology. People are keeping score like this, and it's kind of messed up. But at the end of the day, we're trying to just get to the bottom of the situation. And people saying when the people who killed TP got killed, so it would be 2-3 THF up if they.
And what I don't understand is how people can blame Trap for this shit when these goofers go on there and post the shit they self, but when he report on it, then it's the issue. It's crazy shit ever.
Killed Lil Deuce, but we don't know for sure, right? People are saying, "Damn, I was thinking BTBG's hood was not far from there." They're saying, "Yeah, either somebody dropped the low or somebody seen him. He was at a car part shop and he had to be there for a while." Now, let me give you a little bit of background on BTBG, okay? This group is, picking up a lot of attention in Chicago. They're basically known as the Baby T Blood Gang. It's apparently a traveling Vice Lord set.
Yeah, I was wondering that the little chick that got killed the next day with her baby in the car who gave the drop on Zoo. I was wondering how she got the drop. She must have seen him at the place.
Located in Chicago Avenue in St. Louis on the west side of Chicago in the Humboldt Park neighborhood. BTBG is extremely renowned and could be argued as one of the most well-known traveler sets in the city of Chicago. They're clicked up with other travelers and usually beef with CVLs.
Oh, okay, so they Vice Lords.
People are saying, is it active? Extremely. And they apparently have beef with a bunch of other sets, such as BBMG/Richway, which are conservative Vice Lords, the Beam Team, which are made up of New Breeds, Traveling Vice Lords, Gangster Disciples, and Conservative Vice Lords. They're clicked up with Ghost Mob, who are Conservative Vice Lords, at another set called Moneycello with the same affiliation, and Chain Gang, who are Gangster Disciples. Okay, so these are all the different people that they're beefing with. Did I say clicked up? I didn't mean to say that. I'm saying that this is everybody that they're beefing, and then these are their allies: NLMG, the Simon City Royales, Loso Gang, the Traveling Vice Lords, and a bunch of other Traveling Vice Lord gangs like the Cheddar Boys, Drizzy Gang, and Montana Bay. Listen, I think this is so. This is Montana Bay, out west, most wanted, and basically people are saying that like this is, you know, a lot of these areas, like this pink house, all of these things that are in this video, like these are just for out west, which is a very dangerous side of Chicago. A lot of, you know, a lot of talk gets made about the South Side. Obviously, it's, you know, so famous since Chicago drill music blew up, but out west is very serious, and they're saying that there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out west, and that video and a lot of these guys, like they're really showing how dangerous it is out there. Okay. And so there's a bunch of sort of backstory. People have been trying to get to the bottom of what and who this gang is. There's been posts on Reddit about, you know, different hand signs that they throw up. They kind of do this sort of star.
Man, I know Zoo ain't letting no little babies look like that, man. Catch them slipping. They must take out the trash in the gang or something. Ain't no way these little kids on here look like they 13 and 12 or some shit. Ain't no way.
Sign between each other. These are the BTBG shorties out west. People are basically, you know, investigating and trying to learn about. I mean, they look super young, if I'm honest with you. It's actually crazy. It says those are legit middle school students. The young and on the right was 15 when he passed away about 6 months ago. I'm going to talk a bit more about him. Okay.
Oh, so they did.
That's apparently Kill Bill's brother, and he apparently had 3 bodies at 15, and he ended up getting killed outside the school. It says out west so crazy. Dude's been 9 years old with face tats.
Man, did y'all just hear that? Everybody said the little boy had 3 bodies at 15. And he got killed outside the schoolhouse when he was 16. Man, I got a son 15. I just can't imagine, man, that man having nothing that look like a body. So, baby, man, when I was 15 years old, man, I was trying to sneak over a girl house. This new generation, crazy.
3 bodies, and that's really not an understatement. Okay, people saying that's how you drop Spanish Cobra, but I doubt it's that. Probably some small hood that throws it up too. It could be dissing like 4 gangs that rep that sign, especially if they're under the People's Nation. And people are wondering how these kids are so well armed. They're saying the guy in the light colored jacket got killed a few months ago, so we're gonna cover that in a minute. But I want to get to a couple of other things first. So this is a post on Reddit that's basically introducing Kill Bill, aka KB Curry. At this time, 2 months ago, they were saying that he had 8 bodies, and he rolls with BTBG and DMG. And now this is a kind of a chilling little video. I mean, shout out to this Redditor, Daddy Chuckles. He made this little edit, basically giving backstory on him. And, you know, he said, if you let me know if you want more videos about underrated rappers / killers from less known areas or sets of Chicago as well. I don't think it's going to be long before Kill Bill is actually very famous, but let's see.
Also known as KB Curry. Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want.